everyone, my name is Amber Welch. I am the co-team leader and co-founder of Homebase Real Estate. We are a real estate team based out of San Diego, California. We cover San Diego, Riverside, Palm Springs, and beyond. And I'm excited to be jumping on here today with you guys. My background is sales. It's all I know. I live and breathe it. So when it comes to what to say, how to say, when to say it, and how to close it, that is something that I am very experienced and skilled in, and happy to share that with you today. So today I'm going to be covering a few basic conversion techniques that are going to help you convert more leads once you meet them. So whether you're meeting somebody for the very first time or you're showing a family member a property, just little tips and tricks that you can be doing to make sure that they select you as the agent they're going to be working with and help you convert them down the road. So that being said, the first thing that you need to do, you must do, no matter what, is nailing the first impression. So this will apply more towards, online leads or leads that you're just meeting for the first time, or even an open house lead. But you really can apply it to people that you're already familiar with or you already know in your real life as well, because you want to help them see you in a more professional setting if they are using you to purchase a home. So just make sure that you're not discounting that for people who already have, a great opinion of you or already have a relationship with you. You need to find that separation. A couple of things that we teach our agents to do to help them nail the first impression is to begin building the first impression before they ever even meet you. So a couple of ways for that to happen is we are a heavy online lead team. So when our agents get the leads, they are communicating with them over the phone. They're letting them know that they're going to follow up with them at a certain day and a certain time, and they make sure that they're doing that. And every single touch point that they have with that lead, up until the moment that they actually meet them, they are finding some sort of value, something that the lead is going to find valuable for them. So that way they've already shared a tremendous amount of value before ever even getting in front of the lead, which is obviously the ultimate goal. So the ways that we do that are, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to refer to my notes for you. Number one, following up when you say you will. I always tell my agents, if you follow up when you say you're going to follow up, you are already ahead of the game, probably beating 95% of the agents out there. Realtors are, they're excellent in person. They're excellent at relationships. They tend to be very bad at follow-up. So make sure that you're following up with somebody when you tell them that you'll follow up with them, and you should be in great shape. Another thing that they do is they will always send an actual calendar invitation to whoever they're working with for whatever showings they're going on. That is something that puts it into their calendar. It looks professional. It looks polished. It looks like you have things together, and your odds of having them show up to that appointment are going to be much higher because it's in their calendar and they're getting that reminder. Another thing that our agents do prior to even meeting the lead is about an hour before the actual showing takes place, they are texting the lead and asking them if they can grab them a cup of coffee on the way to the showing. Now, 9 times out of 10, the lead is going to tell you, no thanks. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. It's the evening. They've already had their fill of coffee for the day, but it's a nice gesture and it goes a long way with people. So, and if they do take you up on the offer, then even better, they have a cup of coffee to finish with you while you're getting more information out of them at the showing. So those are a few things that you can be doing to set the expectation that you have value and to kind of give them a great impression of you prior to ever even meeting them in person. So make sure that you're doing those things. The other things that they do prior to the meeting, which are very, very important, is making sure that you're showing up prepared. Our agents never show up with just an MLS printout of the property. Please never do that to yourself. It's the reason that people think we're just door openers is because people show up with an MLS printout and they open the door, right? So make sure that you have additional value. We bring a buyer guide, we bring market updates, we pull recently sold comps in the area, we're writing on it, concessions, highlighting square footage, anything and everything that we can be doing to show an additional layer of value to the lead when they come in. So that way, when we are meeting people for the very first time, we have this packet full of value, and there is no way that any of the people that we're coming into contact with think that we are door openers by any means. So make sure that you show up prepared. Make sure that you're showing up early and you're getting everything turned on for them. That is another key thing that you need to be doing for anybody and everybody, regardless of length of time that you've known them or if you've never even met them. I always like to go back to Malcolm Gladwell's blink theory. I don't know, if you guys have ever heard of that before, but the length of time it takes for somebody to make their first impression about you and decide whether or not they are going to work with you or even like you is about 2 seconds. So you want to be doing what you can to set yourself up for success prior to even ever showing up for the showing. And these are little tips and tricks for you to be able to do that and position yourself in a much stronger position. So hopefully you find that helpful. And then another thing that we're doing for our agents prior to showing up for the actual showing appointment, you're going to want to memorize 4 key things about the property, especially if you're a newer agent or you're younger or, somebody's dad is coming along. We all know dads are tough on realtors. As they should be, they're protecting their kids' assets. But you want to make sure that you're remembering or memorizing the square footage, the bed bath number, how long the property's been on the market. If you know the age of the roof or the age of the HVAC system, I would learn that. Ask the listing agent if they're willing to share that with you. Those are key things that you can be reciting as you're opening the door or as you're welcoming them into the property to position yourself as somebody who has credibility that knows about the property. Otherwise, you're just going to get rapid fire questions from dads and from buyers, asking you these things, and you're not going to know the answers. So you might as well just find the information out before you actually go to the showing. And then as I'm opening the door, hey, so great to meet you guys. As you're aware, this property is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,522 square feet. Roof is approximately 10 years old, and I believe the water heater was replaced last year. Feel free to take a look around, and if you guys have any questions, that's what I'm here for. Okay, you've already positioned yourself as being an expert with the property, an expert in the area. You've already done all of your due diligence leading up to this, and now you've got this great buyer packet that you're going to go over with them a little bit later that's going to add additional value on top of the value that you've already shown to them. So make sure that you're setting yourself up for success in doing those things. It will make your life a lot easier. The next thing that I would go over with you guys is how to actually build rapport with a client once you're in front of them. My background is sales. I was the vice president of sales for many, many years. Sales is all I know. And I just assumed that people in real estate would already naturally kind of know how to build a relationship with people, but you would be surprised as a team leader how many people we interview and how many people, we bring onto the team and give leads to that just don't really know how to establish rapport right away with a buyer. And what's even more challenging about that is buyers are so used to being sold to now that they have this crazy guard up before you ever even get in front of them, and getting through that on showings is very difficult because they don't want to be sold to. And they've probably already gone through this, awkward Zillow first date 100 times before ever meeting you. So getting through that barrier and being able to break through that barrier, show your value, establish rapport, and get them to call you back later. Those are very challenging things, but there are a few key things that you can be doing to set yourself up for success, and I'm going to share those with you. The first thing that I would say that you need to master is the art of not talking. So whenever we get new agents to our team, or even I would tell you, even very experienced agents struggle with this, especially when you're new or you have a large ego. It can go either way. You get to a property and you want to word vomit everything that you know to be true about the market, everything you know to be true about real estate, everything you know to be true about the neighborhood. And then you leave that showing and you're like, oh, that was so great. We had such great rapport. I really liked them. We had a lot in common. And that lead did not reciprocate. They did not feel that same connection with you. And the reason for that, a lot of the time, is because you were doing all of the talking. People feel a connection to you when they are the ones doing the talking. In real estate, asking the right questions and talking maybe 25% of the time is crucial to be able to help you convert these leads and make them want to work with you. So I would encourage you, if you're not already doing that, if you're not already asking the questions that are going to help you convert, I would encourage you to learn the questions and practice that, because that is really going to help you. Less is more with this. So talking is doing a couple of different things. If you are asking the questions, you are controlling the conversation. If you are asking the questions and they're talking, They are the ones that are going to feel the connection to you. And the best part about asking the right questions is you're getting all of the information that you're going to need to be able to convert this lead, whether it's now or down the road. So I would challenge you guys, learn the questions that are crucial to be asking, and I will share this with you. My very favorite question to ask is, why is that important to you? That question you can ask over and over again during a buyer showing, during a buyer consult, over the phone when you're following up with people. Oh, we haven't really, decided yet. We really liked the neighborhood, but we were a little concerned about the school system. Great. Why is that important to you? Oh, well, we've got 2 kids and that's really important, and our son has an IEP. Now I know to look for schools that have very strong IEP programs. You guys get the idea, right? So why is that important to you? If you ever find yourself in a situation where you've got somebody rapid fire questions back to you, answer their question to the best of your ability and ask them, that's a great question. I'll find that out for you. Why is that important to you? You regain control of the conversation and you're learning information. Make sure that you learn that question if you learn nothing else. So hopefully you find that helpful. Another thing that I would encourage you guys to learn and to look for is mirroring social styles. So you've probably all taken a DISC assessment at one point in your career. And if you haven't, EXP offers one. You can take it. It's an EXP University. It tells you a lot about yourself, right? Your communication styles, the way that you learn, the way that you communicate, the way that you attack challenges. But social styles are a little bit different. What social styles teach you is about the consumer, about the person that you're trying to build the connection with. These are keys that you can pick up and traits that you can pick up that will tell you what type of individual you're talking to, so that you can kind of mirror that to help them feel more of a connection to you. People want to work with people who are like them, so be like them. If you've ever seen somebody go into a room and they immediately can build a connection with somebody and get them to want to work with them, it's because they have mastered the art of social styles. So you guys want to, I would encourage you to read a book, if you haven't already read it, called Versatile Selling. It's a very easy read, but I would encourage you to pick up that book. It is phenomenal, and it will teach you the basics of social styles to figure out which kind of individual you're trying to sell to and help you to convert them down the road using those techniques. So hopefully you find that helpful. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is to layer on the questions until you've really truly identified the pain point of the individual that you're talking to. So one of the things that I like to do on a showing is, what prompted your search? What's got you guys looking today? How long have you been looking? And then tell me about your current living situation. Tell me about your current situation. I want to know if they're renting. I want to know if they're staying with a mother-in-law and they're running out of time. I want to know the key things that are driving them to want to make a purchase, because those are the things that I'm going to go back to when they are pumping the brakes on me, or they haven't, scheduled showings for the following weekend. I want to go back to the pain points. I want to find a property that solves for those pain points, and then I want to revisit that with them. So make sure that you're uncovering what that true pain point is on those meetings. I can't tell you how many times I have an agent come to me and they're like, oh, I had this great meeting with this lead. We really hit it off. We know a lot of the same people. I really thought they were motivated, and now I can't get them to call me back, and they've kind of ghosted me. And then I turn to them and I ask them, well, what was their motivation for wanting to look in the first place? And they're like, oh, well, I think they were renting. Great. When does their lease expire? I'm not sure. I think August. Okay. What does their current property not have that their new property would have that would solve for whatever their pain point was? And most of the time they can't answer those questions. And I think there's a combination of reasons why. Either they're not strong communicators, they're not asking the right questions, or the lead just wouldn't open up to them because they didn't feel like their social styles clicked and they weren't comfortable sharing that information. So as long as you're getting through all of that on that initial meeting needs to be your interview. It needs to be where you really, really, truly shine and you can get them to open up to you. And if that's not the case, then you better set a next meeting so that you can accomplish that on the next one. So just some little tips and tricks for you guys. I will say, don't leave without their why. You want to also hype people up. I think that in our industry, we get very we get kind of desensitized to price points and people looking for homes. And, we've sold a few homes and we show up to the showing and like, do you like the house or do you not like the house? And you kind of lose the focus of like, this person might be purchasing their first home and they're super excited. And you haven't even acknowledged the fact that they're purchasing their first home and they're really excited, right? So even if it's a $250,000 lead, which in our market is like a land lead or a mobile home lead. We don't have $250,000 houses in our area, but that doesn't matter. It's still $250,000, right? So when I'm meeting people for the first time, whatever that price point of that house is, I'm telling them, hey, listen, you guys, you're about to spend $250,000 on this property. I want to make sure that I get it right for you. Has anybody taken the time to sit down to understand exactly what it is that you guys need to accomplish? Perfect. Let's go to my office Tuesday at 2. Let's sit down. I want to learn about exactly what it is you're looking for. I've got different opportunities on market, off market, what have you, networks. But I want to truly understand what it is that you're looking for because you're about to spend $250,000, probably all of your savings, I would imagine, depending on the price point. It's important to me that I get it right for you. How does that sound? That is a very, very simple and effective way of scheduling a buyer consultation with somebody and also helping them understand that you understand the kind of investment they're about to make. That's a scary thing for a lot of people. And they are nervous they're going to get it wrong. So why not acknowledge it, hype them up a little bit, like congratulations, that's a lot of money. It's important to me that I get this right for you. Has anybody else taken the time to understand what it is that you're looking for? I promise you they're going to say no. We're in an instant gratification society. COVID turned us into virtual everything, right? So I would argue that there are a lot of agents who aren't doing actual buyer consultations or at least asking those questions and helping the client acknowledge the fact that they are about to do something really big and that taking a step back and helping a professional understand what it is they're trying to accomplish is really going to get them a long way and take them very far in the process. So I would encourage you to get used to doing that as well. And always talk in millions, right? $250,000. If it's $500,000, $500,000. You're about to spend $750,000 on a property. It's powerful, you guys. Hype them up and say it to them, acknowledge it. It's going to take you far. So hopefully you find that helpful. And then I would say when you're following up with people, you need to be earning their business. So I know a lot of agents, once they have met somebody in person, they feel like they've got a great rapport. Zillow sends properties to people before our agents ever see them a lot of the time. And, I know a lot of clients that find their own property on Zillow and then we end up negotiating and we end up doing the work for them on the back end. But I'm still 3 or 4 times a week, I would say a minimum of 3 times a week in the morning while I'm making my coffee, I am blocking out about an hour of my time for my top 10. Always know where your top 10 deals are coming from, right? People that are going to transact in the next 90 days. That's a Tom Ferry thing I learned in their coaching when I was with them. And it sticks. You should always know where your next 10 deals are coming from because things happen. People end up renting, life events happen, people lose jobs. You want to know where your top 10 are coming from, and then you want to nurture them 3 or 4 times a week, a minimum. I would say Sunday evening, no matter what, they are getting an update from me, whether I showed them properties or I didn't show them properties. And I am going over the activity for the properties that I have shown them so that they know what kind of offer activity that property has. If something went pending, I'm sharing with them what that offer, how many offers they got and what they ended up accepting. I'm doing the extra work to find these things out because these are things they can't find out on their own. And it's a lot more powerful than, hey, Jim, I know we didn't see any properties over the weekend, but I'm just checking in. You guys, if you can erase any words from your entire vocabulary as a seasoned sales professional, I promise you, please erase just checking in. Never say that to somebody. Number 1, it minimizes your value and your time. And number 2, there's no value for your lead. So please don't say that to people. If you're going to follow up with somebody, then make sure it's got some sort of value. Let them know what a property they toured went pending at. Let them know about new listings. If there was an open house in the area that they're looking at, let them know what that activity looked like. There are creative ways to accomplish these things, but you want to make sure you're doing it. And then throughout the week, I usually do this on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. First thing in the morning, I'll make my coffee, I'll pull up my top 10, and then for every single one of my leads, I will run a new search for new properties that Zillow is probably sending to them as well. and I'll send them to them. Pool homes in this link, non-pool homes in this link, properties that are not on your radar, that might be outside of the area they said they wanted to live in, but still check all of their boxes, right? And they're getting these emails from me every morning. I would say a minimum of 3 times during the week of new properties. Friday is the last one that I send because I want to make sure that they're getting all of the new properties that are hitting the market for the week. And then obviously trying to schedule an appointment for that weekend to go take them to tour the properties. Even if you cannot find something that checks all of your leads boxes, send them the ones that don't and say, hey, you're going to see these hit the market. It checks most of your boxes, but it's missing the pool. I want to make sure to share this with you so that you guys don't waste your time looking at it. However, I'd be happy to schedule a tour if you feel like that's something you'd be interested in. So hopefully that helps. That is kind of, sales 101, how to sell without actually selling. And if I can answer anything else for you guys, you can find me through EXP University, and I'd be happy to do so.